Hi everyone, it's Q&A time. This is a moment where we answer questions that we receive from our followers. And today we are going to talk about love.
I'm Trisha.
And I'm Thomas.
We provide couples training and tools that help them have a more intimate and satisfying relationship.
Love is enduring, it's eternal. And it's more, to me, it's more in the spirit realm. And lust is more in the fleshly, kind of carnal area, where it's more around the physical attractions that we have. Or it could be around the things that we do for each other, right? So I get you a gift and that just turns you on or whatever. But both love and lust connect to our emotions. Right? And so love can bring joy, and the fulfillment of lust can seemingly bring joy as well. And so it can get really confusing to distinguish between the two. But make no mistake, love is real.
Right.
And so is lust.
Yeah.
And what's really important is that we're able to distinguish between the two, and not allow ourselves to get into situations where we're lusting and we're confusing it with love.
Lust is more sexually driven. It's more like emotions and hormones and all of these things. Like, and so some people like get the butterflies in their stomach. Oh, he's so fine. I think I love him. No, no.
I lust him.
I lust him. That's a good thing. I lust him. So I think it's really hard if you are jumping in the relationship very quickly, like in sort of, a more sexual or intimate type of relationship very quickly into your relationship. I think that there's a fine line that you can get easily confused about. Is this lust or is this love, or like what is this? Because just though that sexual interaction, it takes your soul, it's like a part of your soul. Like your soul, especially for women, women's souls are very much involved in the process of, sexual interactions.
Wow. This is a good one. All of the questions have been good.
Yeah.
And if you have a question, drop it in the comment box.
Yeah, be sure to subscribe if you're liking our channel.
I think one thought that I had around this is, if you start to imagine, what would my life be like without that person? And you ask yourself that question.
What's the question again? I'm sorry.
How can you be sure that you love someone?
How can you be sure you love someone? I mean, we kind of already answered it, haven't we?
But how can you be sure? Like, okay, I'm forgiving them, and I'm accepting them, and I'm sacrificing, and I'm doing all of these things, but I'm still like, how can I be sure?
Okay, well, I think for me, I just think back to when we were dating, and you come to get on my nerves sometimes.
That's how you know that you're in love. Do they get on your nerves?
But I also thought, man, I don't know if I can really do this. Like, he's such a baby, because he was.
Wait, hold on. We're talking about love here, not Thomas.
Well, he was the youngest of his siblings, and he was spoiled.
Okay, you're gonna need to connect.
He got
everything
he wanted, and I was the oldest of the siblings, and so I was always the responsible one, the one that took care of everything.
I am not a baby.
So he wouldn't get his way, and he would do that thing, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Okay, so stop for 1 second, okay? Because I got 2 dots here. The dot, which is the question.
Right.
And the dot, which is what you've been saying the last couple of minutes. And they're not connecting for me. So are you going to bring this home?
It's very important. So what's the question again? That just came to mind, so I had to talk about that.
That has nothing to do with the question.
What's the question?
How can you be sure that you love someone?
That totally relates to the question. Because I loved you, and I knew I loved you.
Past tense?
I do love you, but at that time, I knew I loved you, and so even though I was questioning in my mind, can I be with this person? Like, I knew I loved you, so I continued to endure some of your...
The pain. You endured the pain?
I endured some of the
pain and the frustration?
Yes. So I think some people think, well, when I marry him, then I can change him. No, like, before even getting married, just, is he what you want right now? Because if you think you're gonna get married and change the person, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yes. Seriously, you are. Like, just take, that's nugget wisdom right there.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of thoughts that I just want to build on that, because this is really good, right? Where, how do you know you love someone? I mean, you know, the other angle that I have is, I think about, or I thought about when we were dating, is could I imagine a life without you?
That's a really good question.
And I couldn't. Like, every scenario that I saw of my future had you in it.
Yeah.
And when you weren't in it, I was miserable. Like, I had this feeling in my stomach, like, no, I want to live the rest of my life with Trisha. And that was like just innate in my being, you know? And so I knew that I loved you. So I think that's the no. There's another one that I want to bring up too, though, which is, you know, when you're willing to change for someone, you know that that person is probably someone that you love as well, right? Because it's not because I'm changing because Trisha wants me to change. It's because I'm changing because I love her and I value her. And I want to evolve myself to be my best person, to be my best self, but to also be the best person that I can be for her.
Right. Yeah, so we're really looking at this when we're talking about how do I know when I love someone, like, we're coming from the framework of if you're loving someone and you're choosing to love someone, this is for the long haul. Like, maybe you haven't quite decided if you're going to get married yet, but this really is for the long haul. And I really am looking to see if our relationship is going to work, and are we going to be whatever it is, like that goal, whether it's marriage or having children or whatever. Like, is this gonna work, right?
Yeah, it's so important, you know, and obviously we're talking about this within the context of relationships. You know, there were many moments in our marriage where we could have thrown in the towel, you know, but at the end of the day, we always went back to the starting point.
Yeah.
Right? We committed. We made a choice to love each other, for better or for worse. We hope that this provides some clarity. What I love about these questions is that there's no absolute definitive. You know, I think that we learn from our experiences, we learn from each other, and perhaps most importantly, we have chosen to learn from the Bible and from our Father, right? And Father in heaven. And so I think that is really important, that yes, there's love, there's no limit, it's real, don't confuse it with lust, and you know that you know that you know when you love someone.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, drop your comments, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.